Hello and good day. It's been a while. Well, for me anyway. I've been busy. I've been busy sharpening razors and whatnot, and like I said, I'm going to do less face-offs, and because like I said before, I don't want to keep doing the same. Well, not the same razors, but the same types of razors and whatnot. And I want to do the razors really that I want to shave with a little bit, just so it stays more enjoyable for me basically. Because if there's one thing I never intended with razors, and it's become a chore, which is not at all, but like I said. Today we're going to do a face-off though. We're going to do the battle royale of the Swedish Rattlers. See, I call these rattler grinds, and I know grinds is almost like an opinion-based kind of, hang on, let me turn that on, a bit better. Like an opinion-based sort of thing, there's charts and graphs, and there's a general consensus on most of it. Yeah, I call these rattler grinds, and from the literature I can find and the adverts and whatnot, that's what they used to say back in the day. This one's got some etching in it. I can't really, well, I can, but I'm not going to try. But I believe it was probably like a Swedish men's outfitter, or like a general store or a pharmacy or something. It says something, and this one is an Erik Anton Berg. And if you know nothing about Erik, he made a lot of tools. He was known for it, man. It's quite a special company. You look into it, it's really, really interesting. I won't bore you now. Yeah, so it's Battle of Rattlers. They're the same kind of size. So look at the homeware. The homeware's about the same. The Erik's probably got a little bit more. It's a very sort of common shape I find in Sweden. To me, they use the same blanks, like a lot of these big companies did back in the day and whatnot. And then you send them out to your grinders, and they're all sharing grinders, just like in the first initial stages of like the Sheffield setup. Sheffield went to full-on grinding houses, but Sweden and I think mostly Solingen, they kind of kept it more as like a cottage industry, I think. But I can't be 100% sure because I don't know. I wasn't there. But what I have done is I've got the rest of, well actually no, I've still got another one going through the stones, and that was the worst, well not the worst one, but the more difficult one. I've got 3 of these lovely Joseph Elliott wedges, and I finally got these 3, because one of these was a right old bugger. Full on wedge. This one's the actual one with the Joseph Elliott stamp. I'll show everybody again. I've actually got some abuse online for this. So you see the stamp? Let's see if we can get it. I think you can see it says Joseph Elliott. Yeah, so I actually got some abuse online over this. I think I've touched on it before. So all the rest of them, it was a 7-day set, but there was only 6 in it, and if there was 7 I wouldn't have broke it up, but because there was 6 I thought, well, let's share the love of these wedges because they are exceptional. And the rest of them have got McLennan. I can't find nothing about it, but I assume it was a gentleman's outfitters. It kind of suggests that it was probably Scottish, but again, I do not know, so please do not take me as gospel on that. It's got some natural scales, some of the prettiest I've seen, and they're actually quite thick for this type of natural scales. Very sturdy, not wobbly at all, and they're just a beautiful, beautiful shape. I sold one of these to an Italian gentleman. We had quite a lot of conversations and stuff, and he bought I think he bought a couple of razors off me from memory. I'm pretty much sure he did. And his compliments of my edge on these were, well, lovely. Made my day, it did. And he'd been somebody that's been honing razors for about 30 years, I believe he said. So it's always, I always get a bit of trepidation when somebody says that they're like, a honer and that. But I'm confident in my edges. I'm not somebody that lacks confidence in, when I set out doing things and say things. Yeah, whenever somebody's like, oh, I've been honing for 30 years, I'm looking forward to, how did he put it? Taste my edge. Yeah, it's always a bit of trepidation. It's like I sold one to a barber who was a practicing barber and used straights and everything in Italy. And again, that was the same. I was a bit like, oh god. But anyway, compliments. One of these I'm going to keep. I believe it's this one, just because it's a little bit wider. That's it really. Little less homeware. I think I actually sold my best one by mistake. The one that had the most amount of meat on the bone. Got a bit jumbled up. But these have been a bugger to sharpen. As anybody that knows who hones razors, wedges are a bit of a pain. But these were especially a pain because they've got a real, well, big smile on some of them, and some of them are bigger than others. And basically what was happening is on my toe and my heel, you know, I'm good at doing smilers now. The toe and the heel, I just was really struggling to get the edge to actually hit the stones. So what was happening is I was going through my lower grits, and then I was getting to the 5000, and 5000 is the official beginning of polish in my eyes. Well, with my stones, sorry. Oh, sorry, stretch. And what was happening? It was polishing right up to the edge, but on the toe and on the heel, and especially on the toes, it was missing it. And it don't matter how much pressure you put on it. It don't matter none of that. So you've got to take it back to the 2, and yeah. Sorted them out. Even the one that was most of the pain now, I've got it up to a 5, so I'm quite confident that last one on the 5 will go all the way to the end, because that is the whole point of honing. But I tell you what, the steel on them is some of the best Sheffield steel I think ever. Like, I've been reading a lot more about steel, and like I said before, the Sheffield people basically got together, set up groups, as these industrialists always do within their own sectors. So even though they were a competition, you know, they set up their own groups, they set up their own gangs basically, and they imported crap loads of Swedish ore, you know, and it's well, it's been refined. I forget the actual technical name for the ore now, but anyway, yeah, so they basically shipped it over, and some years they were doing 20 tonnes, so you can imagine 20 tonne of razors is a lot, and I know I said that in the other video. But I can near guarantee that that's definitely got some Swedish steel in that. It's exceptional, you know. And to say they shave like butter, because that is the thing, man. They literally feel like butter on your face. I was trying to explain this to my wife the other day, and well, you can kind of half imagine the looks I was getting, you know, the confused, perplexed. Why are you even telling me this stuff? But we have to listen to their stuff, don't we? Warm my face up a bit. 2 days growth. Capt Fawcett's again, obviously. BLK12S brush. And I think from memory, because sometimes if I've got a load of razors, what I do is I give them a little bit of a test shave. If I'm a bit suspect on a bit of it. And I think this Heljestrand had a bit of a dodgy heel, but anyway, we'll test it. Hope you've all been doing well. We're in February now. That sun will start feeling some heat soon, or even we will start feeling some heat from the sun. It is coming up to my best time of the year. I love March. I think it's just a wonderful month in the UK. It's when things really start to change. You know, we've got the snowdrops out, the bluebells will be coming out soon. All the bulbs, all the plants with bulbs are slowly coming out. And of course the old daffodils. It's just a lovely time of year. It's a new beginning, a new start. It's when everything starts getting more vigorous. And this soap still smells delightful. It's my birthday soon, so let's see what happens. I might get his other one. Be interesting to see how long this one lasts if I use it just like all the time, because I think I might do actually, because I'm a bit like that with my soaps. Sometimes I go through phases of mixing it up, but a lot of the time I just basically stick with one. Keep it simple, stupid, huh? But I really like these rattler grinds, and I had a big, sort of a biggish rattler a good while ago now. That's one of the ones I wish I kept, because they're as rare as rocking horse shit. Right, and I love these little rattlers, especially to look at. Some of them are just absolutely beautiful. I had a class one months and months ago, and that was one of the prettiest razors I've ever had. And it shaved completely delightful. But I don't like the shanks on them, and what I say I don't like the shanks is that they're too dainty for me. Like I said before, I've got builder's hands, too dainty. And sometimes I just feel like they're going to move too much. Like they're probably not, because they're quite grippy and everything. They are like nice and grippy. But it's quite quiet for a rattler. But because these are quite small rattlers, they're a bit stiffer. I was chatting to somebody online the other day, because he was showing off a rattler grind, a Swedish one at that as well. We were just chatting and that, and he said there's one thing with this razor that makes a wicked edge, and that is very true with some of these rattlers. Yeah, it's very true with some of these rattlers. Like that edge is a bit tame compared to some. Some of them feel like they're going to rip your face off, but they're normally very good. It's incredibly smooth. It's not making as much noise as I kind of would imagine it would, but like I said, it's quite a stiff old rattler, this. You do get stiffer ones, and you do get like ones that are mega fine. I'm going to shave with a CV number 4 next, I think, with another one. I'm not decided what one next. And the reason I'm going to shave with a number 4 is because I don't think I've had one before. I say that, and I say I don't think so. God, I've had so many CVs. But purely because when I stropped it, you see that sounds different, that one. Let's have a little look. See, that sounds more like a rattler. It's a bit of a bigger blade as well. Yeah, it's just a bit thinner when you kind of, just feels a bit thinner. It does. My fingers have almost got like a little caliper. Yeah, it's definitely a bit thicker. Whereas this one's definitely a little bit thinner, and the thinness starts a little bit higher up, if you know what I mean. So all the next razors that are kind of coming out of the honing stones now are all going to have my new Janat edge, so these ones haven't. So I'm excited to start testing that proper. I have shaved with one edge with it and it was lovely. And what I've done is as well, I've put a new edge on that is it Eugenie Hope? It's definitely Hope anyway. Number 4 pattern thing I got. That's just a lovely razor. So what I'm gonna likely do is just do a little sort of almost like face off, but stone off. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Just so I can kind of get a direct feel. I've got that J. Hengel's like 17. And I've got this Hope 14, so they're quite similar in pattern. And they should be similar in steel because the two companies are very much affiliated, I think. You know, they shared stamps for a while, so there was definitely 100% going on. Just so I can have a kind of direct feel, and if I can't tell the difference, because I don't expect I'm gonna kind of feel any difference, and it's the thing that really baffles me sometimes when you get reading some people on forums and that, how, you know, my edge is better than your edge, kind of thing. And at the end of the day, if you get a good edge, get good comfortable edge and that, it's just, you know, it's hard to go any further than that, you know. But yeah, each to their own, innit? Right, what way did I do it? I forget. I've had like a little sort of rough patch under my chin, not from shaving, I don't know what it is, weather or whatever. Yeah, it's got incredibly tight. Oh, and I've got to say as well, I sold my first meter clangers. I sold that like modified razor that had a lot of home wear, a lot of, you know, a lot of wear. You know, the toe had been heavily modified, rounded off and everything. And the dude who bought it, man, he was just overjoyed with it. He was somebody that wanted to try a straight razor. I've been DE shaving for years. Wanted to try a straight razor, so now he has, and that's what the whole idea of Meet Me Clangers was. I'll have to get another one. I ain't really gone through and had a look what one. So it just goes to show you, see, even though, you know, aesthetically not very pleasing to look at, you know, crap loads, lots and lots of home wear and just general wear, but I shave with it. Got it, you know, honed it, shaved with it. And to be fair, I knew before I'd shave with it that it was going to shave great, because I can tell, like on the stones, some razors, they just talk to you as you sharpen them basically, and they're like, yep, I'm going to be behaving on your face, and I knew it was. And talking about that, actually, I've been sharpening a Oscar Special. Oh, what do I don't normally do that. Yeah, an Oscar Special, and from memory, was they affiliated with Sprock? Or anyway, I'm quite certain they're affiliated. You know, they were a brand from one of the good Sheffield makers. It's a look like a large-ish hollow ground, proper English hollow ground. Proper English hollow ground, and as soon as I put that on the stones, you're just like, oh man, this is going to turn out lovely. It's got quite a smile on it. Yeah, it's got a little smile on it going on, like real nice sweep to it, and it is as thin as thin. Like, I'm telling you, to get a razor that big, that thin and everything, the way they've done that, it's just, it amazes me, like, it really does. Because it is super, super thin. And if I didn't have another one in my keeper collection that's made by, oh, is it C.W. Myers? I'm pretty sure it's Myers, Sheffield again. That it was, like, to memory is very similar to it. I'm going to check it out, because if that Oscar one's a bit bigger, or it pleases me a bit more to look at, I'll swap them around. I know the Myers one is, well, it was Nos when I got it. It had never been shaved with, and I'm sure I'm the first one to shave with it. But yeah, definitely before I offload that one, if it shaves as good as I think it's going to shave, I will check it and swap my keeper around. Because that Myers one, that shaved like an absolute dream, that did. That was, and what I mean by a Sheffield real fine hollow ground is, it's just straight down, man. So like, you got the spine, it just goes straight down, relatively quick from the spine as well, and it's just straight all the way. Just thin, like thin. And they only could get away with that, I believe, by using good steel. So I'm near sure that those razors were near surely made from Swedish or stock, because I just do not understand how they'd get it otherwise. I just really don't, because it's just too thin. It's too thin. If you were going to use like just typical run-of-the-mill Sheffield steel back in the day, which was meant to be really good, but historically I think the consensus is it was a bit sort of what's the word? Softer. Yeah, softer is the word. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, I think the consensus is it was basically softer than a lot of other sort of steel, but it's not the case for all of them, because every single Geo Wolfshen tome has been rock hard, and every single Joseph Elliott's has always been, well, just exceptional steel. But again, they were the big players, man. They were the big boys, so they clearly would have had access to high-end metal, and high-end metal in yesteryear was from Sweden. Oh God, it feels nice on my cheekbone. That's why you should have a do this, boys. Facial massage. If you've been chopsing too much, certainly ain't been laughing too much. It's a good shave. I don't know, there's nothing in it really. No. Not quite as tight as I kind of expect from a rattler, but you get that. Still a nice comfortable shave. Don't feel like I'm going to have irritation, but we will see in the next half hour. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you've had a good day. I hope you've had a good shave. And remember, sometimes a good day starts with a good shave. I'll see you later. Goodbye.